So in this video, my friends, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get all the Lysandre Labs shiny Pokemon in Legends ZA. This one, a little bit tricky for some of them, mostly the Ekans and the Arbok. But besides that, the rest are fairly easy, I would say. So we're going to show you guys how to get every single one. If you do enjoy this one, leave it a like, subscribe for more, and let's go ahead and jump straight into this. First things first, you got to unlock Lysandre Labs. How do you do that? Well, you got to advance far enough into the story for it to actually unlock. You'll know you're going to be going into this area, the Lysandre Cafe, at some point. It's going to be right above the location Wild Zone 7. We're going to go just right inside of here, and once we get inside, we're going to go inside this little kind of area as well. Again, you're not going to have this until you're very late game, like very near the end, last couple missions of the story. And once we're in Lysandre Labs, you can see there's these things, teleporters. Now, again, once you've unlocked you've done the whole story, you're gonna have all these teleporters unlocked and whatever, and then we can kind of start shiny hunting. We haven't completed this Lysandre Labs area in the story. Do that and then come back. All right, a few different Pokemon that we're gonna be hunting in this one. There's a lot of teleporters, so all we're going to be doing is spamming A at the teleporters to kind of teleport back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so let me kind of show you guys exactly where all these Pokemon are. There's a graph that I found on this website. Again, credit where credit is due, because it's not mine. Game8.co. I use them a lot for various different things, you know, Monster Hunter builds and various different things, Pokemon locations. I mean, they're a very good website. So I'll link it down in the description below. But I found their chart very, very helpful. So I'll give you a quick look up on screen just briefly, and you guys can see. So you can see exactly where all the Pokemon are, and again, check out the link in the description below because there's more information on their page that'll be helpful to this guide. Now let's go ahead and jump straight in. So from this location here, you're going to see that this teleporter where I'm at the entrance is going to go up here, and right up here is going to be the Doublade and the two Honedges. Okay, so we're going to start with this one right here. That's what we're going to focus on first and foremost. And as we're teleporting back and forth, what we're going to be doing is we're getting far enough away to despawn them and then close enough to spawn them in. So I'm going to use this teleporter. Now, here's a really weird thing about this area is that so there's a Doublade 50 male. If for some reason it's not working, like you teleport out, you teleport back in. Check first and foremost to make sure that is kind of respawning. 49 male. Okay, great. But if for some reason it isn't, go ahead from this location once you're like right kind of close to them, but not close enough where they can see you, because then you can't teleport out. Fast travel over to the entrance of the labs and then teleport back and do it again. So then, and that's just the method at that point. We're just going to keep teleporting. And if you don't have if you do have a macro controller like the 8-bit Do Pro 3, which I've been talking about a lot, links in the description below for the Amazon affiliate link. I get a little bit of a kickback if you use that link. You don't have to. I also have a tutorial on how to use the controller if you want to do that, or if you have any other controller that can do like a turbo where it's just constantly spamming, you know, the A button. That's all we're going to be doing is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Or you can just spam it. It's very, very easy. You don't have to open the menus or anything like that. And we're just going to kind of be making these guys despawn and respawn, and at some point they're going to show up shiny. Now, out of all the Pokemon down here, unfortunately, and again, this one's now a 49 female, so you can see it's actually working. Out of all the Pokemon down here, these are the only ones that I just couldn't get to spawn. Again, shiny hunting is very RNG, so unfortunately I don't have footage of these guys turning shiny, but I know for a fact that it can happen. I've seen other people do it as well. And again, the fact that they're resetting, it proves that they're changing, right? Because the gender and the level changes. Keep doing that. You're going to get your Doublade, you're going to get your Honedge, and, you know, eventually, hopefully get better RNG than me, and we'll be pretty much good to go. So, all right, this one's going to I'm going to get this out of the way, because this one's really, really annoying. This is going to be the Ekans and the Alpha Arbok, which is in this kind of center square here. There seems to be, from my experience, and please let me know in the comments below if you find a better method. I'm going to explain what I've tried and what's worked half the time, and then I'm going to show you guys what works, you know, pretty much all the time. And if you know of a better method, please let me know, because the teleporters in this area, as you can see, there's none that are well, again, you don't see the arrows to see which ones are kind of connected, but essentially this one is really close to them. Obviously this one's going to make them spawn in, but this one's going to lead me over here, which is not quite far enough to make them despawn. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's very, very finicky. This one down here where we were doing for the Honedge, this one I don't think is close enough to make them spawn in. And the problem is I can't tell you how many meters they are away. I know the Pokemon despawn around 70 plus meters and they spawn in around 40-ish meters. But I don't have any way to mark the map down here, which makes everything way more complicated for this. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. I have gotten a shiny Ekans, and I'll show you in a quick sec as well. I mean, you've seen it at the beginning of the video. I have a shiny Ekans, and this is where I got it. I'm not sure which method worked correctly. So again, I'm sorry for the uncertainty, but I'm going to explain to you exactly what I've done and what I can tell works and what doesn't work. Okay, bear with me. I know this one's a little bit of a weird section of this video. So going from here to here, one of your methods is going to be just to kind of go like this. Okay, this one is the one that I say is probably the method you're going to want to use. So you're going to teleport here and you're just going to run down. Okay, I know this works because we're far enough to make it despawn, and then we're going to be running to its spawn to make it respawn. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing, is just running back and forth. So we're just going to run past these guys here. We're going to run across here, and they're going to be in here. And we can kind of take a quick peek and then, you know, dart out of there. Because if they see you, they're going to chase you, which is kind of the problem. So you don't want to spend too much time in there. Then you're going to walk all the way back here. And then you're going to walk back and forth, right? So you just want to get far enough. You can go all the way to the end to make them despawn, and then run back, you know, close enough to make them respawn in, right? So I'll show you real quick. This one's a 47 male, the one that's kind of closest here. And again, this is another method for the Doubblades and Honedges as well, because you're running far enough to make them despawn, then you're running close to make them respawn. So this is now a 47 female, that's a 48 male, and that one's a 60 male. So just the alpha, for example, 60 male. I'll show you guys one more time. So now this, again, 60 female. But if you want to really make sure, again, you can run all the way to the end of this kind of, you know, area and then run back. I'll show you one other way to do this. That's probably going to take you longer and it's more tedious, but it's a way. I'm trying to be thorough with this one because this is the most annoying one. I come back here. What are you? 60 male this time, okay? So if they do see you, you can just kind of take this teleporter right here out, and then you can kind of fast travel to the entrance, take this teleporter back up here, and then kind of rinse and repeat. The problem is when I teleport here, if I aggroed them, you can see they're not far enough to despawn. And if they're not far enough to despawn, if they're close enough for them to be aggroed, they're not far enough for them to despawn. And so this teleporter, I've noticed, works very, very inconsistently. Sometimes I've noticed that these Ekans and these Arbok, this Arbok will reset, right? So like if I look at this one, it's a 48 female and a 59 female. So the closest one, 48 female, alpha's a 59 female. We'll take a look. We'll wait a second. See, now they're aggroed. So I might have to go like all the way over here. I might have to teleport somewhere else. You know what I mean? This, by the way, this teleporter right here, it's still really close. So just so you know, this is not going to make them despawn. Now they're no longer aggroed. I can move back. Now, again, you're going to see that they're pretty much most likely going to be the same. 48 female. Did that one respawn? 59 male. So they did respawn. But again, it's very inconsistent because sometimes they're not resetting. They're always the same. And I've had it happen where one of these Ekans was an alpha and it was just always the same level, same gender, and always an alpha when I would do this. You know, if you go into this corner, this is probably the corner that's furthest away from this area. So you can run to this corner, run back, spawn in. But again, this is the most inconsistent way. But this is the only other way besides running back and forth, you know, from the Honedge area like I just kind of showed you. That's the only other way that I've had it work sometimes, but not all the time. So that's the Ekans, that's the Arbok. Again, I did get one, but it could have been just a freak accident because, you know, it's just a maneuvering all over the place with these teleporters and yada yada. So that's the only one in this video that I don't have a really, really good method for. And it's not the easiest way. And honestly, if you want the alpha Arbok, then yeah, I would just run it back and forth, you know, back and forth between here just to ensure that it is respawning. Or you could try what I just showed you with the teleport method. Again, it's like a 50-50 chance, really, with that one. So it's not always going to be resetting the Pokemon. Or just go get an Ekans in the cemetery in Wild Zone 4 and evolve it. Unless you want that, again, alpha Arbok. If you know of a better method, let me know in the comments. Sorry this section took so long, but I really wanted to be thorough and explain to you what I tried, what worked, what didn't work, and take it from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with this. So the Noivern, there's going to be a Noivern that's going to be right here. As you're doing the whole Honedge method right here, the Honedge Doublade method, which we talked about earlier. If you missed that, we're just teleporting from this teleporter to this teleporter back and forth. And because we're right here, that's going to make this Noivern spawn in. And then when we're teleporting out, it's going to make it despawn. And it's just right around the corner. I've got this one to be shiny a bazillion times. I've got like 3 or 4 of these guys that were shiny. You guys could probably see some footage up on screen, hopefully, of that. And that's that. That's an easy way to get a Noivern. There's going to be another way to get a Noivern, which is going to be this guy right here. But we're going to be getting that Noivern from a different method. So we're basically going to be going from this teleporter to this teleporter back and forth, which we're going to be doing for a very specific Pokemon in a second here, and I'll explain it. But once you're going back and forth between these two, I've noticed that this one could sometimes spawn as a shiny Noivern. Again, it's going to be right here. And this one is still shiny. I'll go show you the location to get that one. So the way we get there is we can just teleport over there from the entrance and then kind of head straight down. So for that Noivern, we're going to teleport here. We're going to go straight down. And again, you're going to see this one is going to be shiny. I haven't picked this one up yet. So we're going to go all the way down to the very bottom here. And he's going to be right there. So again, you can see this one's shiny. He's just kind of hanging out. I'm going to go use, I'll just use an Ultra Ball because I have so many of these guys anyways. And there you have it. The Noiverns are going to be the easiest ones to get in this area, by the way. So I'll show you guys how many I have. What, 5 Noiverns? It's ridiculous. So that's how you're going to get the Noiverns. Very easy. We can move on to the next Pokemon. Okay, so right over here is going to be the Houndour and Houndoom. And then up here, you're going to have the, I think Electrike it's called, and the Manectric, if I'm pronouncing them right. So we're going to be knocking out both of those pairs in one shot. Now, there is also Manectric up here that you can get from doing some other methods. There's a Manectric right here, which we're going to talk about in a second as a bonus from another method as well. But for now, we're just going to focus on this group right here, the Electrike and Manectric here, which is shiny. Both of them are shiny. I haven't picked them up yet. And then there's a Houndoom and a Houndour right here, which can be shiny as well. I'll show you guys exactly how I did that. So going from the entrance here, we're going to go just over here. There's a teleporter right here. This teleporter, let me show you guys where it takes us. Let me open up the pause menu. So we went from here over here. This teleporter teleported us here. Now we're going to take this teleporter and we're going to teleport down here. And this is going to be the one that we're going to be spamming. So just up here, we're just going to take this one and it's going to go down here. So when we go down here, the Houndour and Houndoom over here are going to be respawning. And these guys up here are going to be despawning, the Electrike and the Manectric. Now, when we take this over here and back and forth, again, these guys, when we go over here, these guys are going to spawn in. These guys are going to despawn. Does that make sense? So you're just going to spam this teleporter right here, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you know what the beauty of this is, by the way, is well, not for these guys here, unfortunately, but for the Houndour and the Houndoom, there's a little window that you have, a little doggy window. You just peek over here and see, oh, are they shiny? Oh, great. Now you just hop over this right here. You kind of sneak up and you're like, bam, I got him. This guy just won't spawn shiny for me, but this guy did. And then you pick him up. And then from here, you go straight down this path. Okay. If you want to go check the spawns for the Electrike and Manectric, you just go right down the path and, oh, look at that. Shiny Electrike. Let's pick him up. Shiny Manectric. Let's pick him up. All right. Boom. There you go. Bunch of shiny Pokemon, just like that. Now you want to get back to the teleporter, you just run all the way straight down the hall we just went to. You come up here and back into this teleporter, go back here, and then you keep teleporting back and forth if you see that they're not shiny. And that's pretty much it. Easiest way to get all 4 of those Pokemon. Super easy. You see me just catch 3 out of 4 of them just like that. And I only did that teleporter method for maybe 30 minutes, maybe 40 tops, but I didn't do it very long. And I got 3 out of 4 of those Pokemon to spawn shiny very quickly. Okay, so last but certainly not least, I'm going to show you guys how to get Beldum and the Metang, which are over here. And in the process, there's going to be a Houndoom over here that is also going to most likely end up shiny as you're doing this. And as you're doing that, there's going to be a Manectric up here that is going to potentially become shiny, and the Noivern right here. So doing what I'm about to show you for the Beldum is going to get you the Beldum and the Metang over here, the Houndoom here, the Noivern here, and the Manectric here that could be shiny. I left this on all night, and all of them were shiny by the time I got back. So how do we do this? The first thing we need to do is actually go to the teleport room over here, or the Beldum room. So we're going to go to from the teleport the entrance area here, and you're going to follow my path just down here. Okay, so you're going to follow my path. I'm going to do a little U-turn where the Houndour and the Houndoom are. And we're going to turn left here. And once they spawn in, we see them, we're going to open up our pause menu and we're going to fast travel back. Don't know why this needs to be done, but it just does need to be done. Otherwise, this, for some reason, doesn't work. Then we're going to head to the right over here. Okay, we're going to go around and there's going to be a couple teleporters. There's one here. This is the one we want to use. Do not go on the other side because there's one there. That's not the one we want to use. We want to use this one. You can see the Houndoom is there. The Noivern is right up there, the one that we caught earlier that was shiny. And the Manectric is just kind of over there. You do got to kind of maneuver to get over there. The best way to get to that Manectric is to kind of teleport from here, up here, go straight down this path, hop through here, go through here, and Manectric's here. I've had that one shiny and this Houndoom shiny. We're gonna teleport back and forth, okay? Back and forth, and you should hear the sound of the Beldum when we teleport, by the way. So you're not always going to hear the cry, but usually you do, at least at the start at some point. But anyways, you're just going to keep teleporting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Again, I left this on kind of all night. And then what happened is, first of all, when I came back to this Houndoom room, I had the shiny Houndoom, as you can see some of the footage on screen. So I had the shiny Houndoom. That Noivern over there was shiny. And that Manectric was also shiny, as I mentioned. And then we're just going to kind of head back to that main room. So if you want to head back, you just kind of, backtrack from the Houndoom room. Or you can just teleport to the entrance again, and then just make your way over to the Beldum room. And once you get there, again, if you were lucky enough, if the RNG was in your favor, you're going to see that there's going to be a shiny Beldum. For me, there was 2 shiny Beldums. They're really hard to catch, so definitely save the game before you try to catch them. And, with the way I did it is I ended up using Earthquake on both of them. And one of them caught, thankfully, but the other one got away. So it was kind of stupid on my part. But either way, that's kind of how you got to get the Beldum and potentially Metang. Sometimes it could be 2 Beldums. Sometimes it'll be like a Beldum and a Metang. Either way, Beldum evolves into a Metang, and you can evolve it right away and then evolve that into Metagross right away as well. So that's how you get all the Pokemon in Pokemon Legends ZA Lysandre Labs. I hope this helped you guys out. Once you go through that, again, I didn't do this very long, and I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Noiverns. I got 2 Houndooms. I got 2 Manectrics. I got an Electrike, and I got an Ekans. Very easy. And that Beldum, which I turned into a Metagross. I should have had 2 Beldums. So technically I have 2 Beldums. But anyway, so pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you need help with anything else, and check out all the other guides, and check out everything down in the description below for the playlist of ZA to check out all the other stuff. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, if you find a better method for that Ekans and Arbok, let us know. Till the next one, game on. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.